Being in probate real estate, I know that families and professionals helping those families are overwhelmed with all the tasks, both the technical activities and the emotions that they have to deal with during that process. One of the companies that is there to help is After Loss Professionals. It's actually Professionals of After Loss Services, PALS. And we're excited to have today Jasmine Hathaway. Jasmine, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
And what's your role with the company? What's your official title?
So I'm a co-founder. I have two other co-founders that live in other states, and we all found each other because we had started businesses dedicated to supporting families with the work that falls to them after a loss.
And so I'm going to ask the question, but I think I know the answer without asking it, because usually it's somebody scratching their own itch. How out of all things of all businesses, you decide to get in this particular space?
That's a good question, right? Because it's not something that many people would feel drawn to, that they want to spend all of their days working with families after a loss. But in my case, I went through it myself. I lost my husband to cancer in 2015. And so, I was completely overwhelmed working full time. I had a toddler and a dog and all kinds of other responsibilities that fell to me. So when I found out that as the surviving spouse, I was expected to be the one to track down all these accounts, transfer things to my name, just kind of do all this administrative work, it took me months. It was just way too much for me to handle on my own.
And it's not as if you don't have other things to do in your case.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and in your case, you're doing directly with the loss of, in that case, the spouse and the father of your child. So you have the extra difficulties. Now that you have a business, people come to your business to solve a problem or a series of problems. What are the most common challenges, or how is it described to you that they're coming to you in the first place?
Yeah. So really, what we tell people is that they're often not experts in doing this kind of work. So if they're lucky, they only deal with it maybe once or twice in their entire lives. And so most people who come to me for help, they just have no idea where to start. And a lot of times they're really worried about making mistakes because they don't have connections and resources in all of the different places that you need to manage things like cars and real estate and valuables and online properties. I mean, you name it. There's all kinds of stuff that you can be faced with that you feel completely unequipped to just from your normal life experience. And then on top of that, you're grieving, which often leads to grief fog, brain fog, that makes it hard to process lots of little pieces of information and figure out what's the most important.
So obviously you can't do everything. I mean, people have to live a life. Your job is to help. You're servicing them to deal with it a certain way. Kind of describe your service offering. What is it that you do that people can turn to you and delegate?
Yeah. So mostly what an after loss professional does is works with the client, with the family, to come up with their customized plan, and then uses that plan as sort of the roadmap to break down the tasks into small, digestible pieces. And so the good example of that would be like, you have a car that you need to deal with. Well, there's actually 4 different steps that need to happen to get the title in your name before you can sell the car, for example. And so the after loss professional knows about these things and walks the client through each and everything in order of importance, and really works very closely with other experts to consolidate a lot of tasks that in a lot of cases are duplicative. And so it's the same set of paperwork that you need to bring to all your appointments, for example, or send out to different benefits companies. And so the after loss professional is coming alongside and saying like, hey, this is what we need to do. This is the process. Here's what I'm going to be able to do for you to take some of that load off of your shoulders at a really difficult time.
I think in my experience, customers mistakenly think that an attorney is going to do all that for them.
Right.
And the reality is, number one, the attorney is only typically trained on the law.
Right.
2, law can be very technical, and oftentimes they don't have the soft skills to communicate and comfort and all that. And 3, sometimes they don't see the administrative tasks as being part of their job. So really what you're doing, it sounds to me, is you have a network of professionals that are getting trained to a certain level to fill in that gap between what the customer needs and what they, I think, expect the attorney to handle for them.
100%. Yes, that is exactly right. So, there's all kinds of things that attorneys do very, very well, and they absolutely do important work after someone has died. And we have a great network, great relationships with attorneys. And the ones who get it see after loss professionals as an important part of the system that supports their clients. And it handles things like, if they're having trouble getting the cable canceled, they don't want to bill their client for that. They can work with the after loss professional to get that done.
So you're offering like a designation or a training program for people who want to add that as their professional designation and then offer that service?
Yeah, exactly. So when my co-founders and I got together, one of the things that we would do a lot is just talk about doing this work. And we, over time, consolidated our best practices into this training program. So it's called the PALS training program. And it is the only thing out there that teaches you how to do this work, to become an after loss professional and really step into working with clients a lot quicker than if you have to go through the trial and error and learn it on your own. So it's everything that we wish we would have known before we started our business.
Now you say that, and a number of professionals like you in other fields say that phrase. I wish I'd known that before.
Yeah.
And I always wonder, maybe somebody who is in that position might consider getting trained for their own estate, so they learn it all for their case, and they might consider that as a side hustle or side business or adjunct to whatever they're doing going forward. So I always feel like that's something that, pay attention here, because maybe this is something you want to do professionally. So you have a network of people who've been through your training, and then how do they market their business? Are they already in the business? Like they're already a realtor and attorney that adds the designation, or are they marketing themselves separately or uniquely as a PALS participant?
We have some of both categories, actually. And so there's all kinds of related professions that find that it makes sense for them to also become after loss professionals. So a great example of that would be like senior move managers, daily money managers, and professional organizers. We've just seen a ton of these people who already are in this space, already working with people who have lost a loved one, and they want to be equipped to help them through this time in their lives as well.
And I know I deal with professional fiduciaries, and that's, again, some of them will do this work and bill for it, but they're also almost like an attorney level billing, where this is somebody who maybe doesn't have that same expense, but also has maybe some more expertise, so things get done more quickly and more efficiently than otherwise.
Yes, exactly right.
Well, so are you able to discuss the pricing, or is that something they need to go to the website, or what? Somebody's interested, what does that look like? What's the time investment and what's the price investment?
Yeah, so that's a great question. So PALS is the sort of association for after loss professionals. And so each after loss professional sets their own pricing and rate. So we have a directory called Find a Pro, that little box on the right-hand side. Yep. So Find a Pro will point you in the right direction. A lot of these people offer virtual services, but you can find somebody in your area as well. And each one of them will be able to share their pricing. Sometimes they put it on their website, and sometimes you have to contact them for more.
Got it. So so really you're creating a network of professionals that are in this space, and they all kind of run their business separately.
Exactly.
Great. And I imagine this would be of particular interest to anybody in our network who's a state salesperson, like you said, organizers, almost anybody doing that space already. This is a way to add some additional service as well as a way to get paid for it as well. So, and then I noticed, Jasmine, on your partners, you have a couple of partners I'm familiar with that I'm really fond of. Jet Shirty is one of them, and Knockbox is another one. Tell me a little bit about your partner program. Are those just services that you recommend, or are these people that you market with, or what's that relationship look like?
Yeah, it is mostly a marketing relationship. So these are businesses that offer services or products that are related to the work that an after loss professional does. And so these are people that we believe in, that we trust, that sign a partner agreement with us. And so we connect our partners with our audience, with our growing membership, and yeah, it's a mutually beneficial thing. Our marketing helps both our audience of after-loss professionals and our partners.
Fantastic. So again, these are people I know I've had on my website, Knockbox and Jet Surety, and some great other ones I'm going to look into as well. So thanks for introducing those. Jasmine, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. Somebody who's interested in becoming a partner, becoming a PALS partner, is the best place to go. Just to afterlosspros.com is the website.
That's right.
And there's a Find a Pro button, but if they wanted to consider being a pro, guess what, hit the contact button, and that'd be the best way to contact you or reach out to you?
Sure. The contact us button is a great place to start, and there should also be a call to action on that partners page if you're interested in becoming a partner.
There you go. There's a call to action right there on the bottom. Very good. Jasmine, thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate learning more about your service. Look forward to working with you more in the future.
Same, Bill. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.